The film begins inside the past, due 1960s at a Marine Corps schooling camp in Parris Island, South Carolina, a collection of recent Marine recruits with freshly shaved heads is getting equipped for simple education there beneath the command of Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, who has a tough activity of getting ready them for military life. Hartman nicknames the recruits, calling one of them Joker, every other cowboy, and the third, Gumer Pile sticks out due to the fact he is a huge gradual-witted guy who struggles to maintain up with the others in bodily sports. Inside the next scene, Hartman orients the new recruits, announcing that they may simplest communicate whilst they are spoken to, and that their first and closing phrase will be "Sir." The brand new recruits are efficaciously listening to their sergeant's instructions and conforming to his orders. Hartman continues to mention that if the boys depart the island, then they will be classified as girls, and if they continue to exist, the schooling they will be part of the new batch of Marines, consistent with the sergeant. Those boys will be the minister of loss of life and weapons of battle. After the speech, Hartman topics the recruits to a grueling recurring of walking, marching, and rifle training. Pyle often makes errors, and when he does, Hartman punishes him harshly, even making him walk along with his pants down during impediment course schooling. Pyle cannot do pull use or climb high main to extra scolding from Hartman. That night, Hartman returns to the dormitory and orders the recruits to name their rifles after a woman. The men do as advised, and they chant and pray with their rifles. The education maintains tomorrow, which consists of one-on-one battles and agility tests. Pyle remains the remaining one as he struggles because of his physical weight and gradual thoughts in strolling and jogging through the dust. Undertaking the relaxation of the boys assist Pyle as they're being forced and threatened via Hartman. In the future, Hartman asks Joker if he believes in the Virgin Mary. When Joker says he doesn't, it upsets the sergeant, who is a devout Catholic. Hartman slaps Joker and orders him to alternate his solution. Joker, despite the punishment, refuses to change his stance because he believes Hartman would only be extra brutal if he did. Surprisingly, Hartman promotes Joker to squad leader for standing up for himself, but the sergeant additionally assigns Joker the tough task of being Pyle's private instructor. Joker attempts to help with diverse training obligations together with capturing and additionally shoelace tying, but it looks as if his efforts are useless. During one firing training, Hartman tells everybody that their killer intuition will maintain them alive during the conflict. He additionally tells them that their rifle is the savior of brother, and they ought to have a robust coronary heart to kill their enemies. Whilst the time is proper that evening, Hartman conducts the ordinary check on the recruit's hygiene. Just then he unearths that Pyle's footlocker is unlocked. In her he reveals a jelly donut, which is against the policies due to the fact meals is not allowed in the barracks, specially for recruits like Pyle who are obese. This makes Hartman very indignant, and he comes to a decision that in preference to punishing Pyle, in my view, for his errors, he'll punish the whole squad. Therefore, besides for Pyle, all of his co-running shoes are made to do push. Amerikowicz, without a doubt, disenchanted them. Some nights later, some of the frustrated recruits take topics into their personal fingers. They assault Pyle using cleaning soap bars wrapped in towels, whilst Cowboy stops him from making noise. Others preserve him down on his mattress with a blanket to begin with. Joker is reluctant to join in, but Cowboy persuades him, and Joker ends up hitting Pyle even harder than maximum in his bunk. Afterward, Joker feels ashamed and covers his ears to block out Pyle's painful cries. Following this annoying incident, Pyle starts off evolved to show signs and symptoms of intellectual instability, but additionally especially improves his bodily health and turns into a notable rifleman. Hartman is inspired by using his taking pictures talents and basic progress. But Joker notices that Pyle is acting surprisingly speak me to his rifle, and now not responding to others, indicating that he's losing his sanity. Joker later confides in Cowboy about Pyle's deteriorating intellectual country via the give-up of simple training. Pyle has been Professor L affected by the tough education fast ahead to the squad's graduation. Hartman assigns every recruit a selected Navy activity. Maximum of them are assigned to infantry roles, besides for Joker, who's given the process of fundamental military journalism at the last night time at Paris Island. Joker is on guard responsibility. In the course of his watch he discovers Pyle in the toilet, loading his M14 rifle. Joker asks him if the rifle has live ammunition. The insane Pyle replies that it is a complete metal jacket with 762mm bullets. This scares Joker and he tries to compile down. But Pyle starts off avowed shouting, following imaginary Navy commands and reciting the rifleman's creed without information. The noise wakes up fellow Marines and additionally Hartman, who angrily confronts Pyle and orders him to put down the rifle. Pyle does not reply and refuses to obey. Main Hartman to insult him. Shockingly, Pyle shoots and kills Hartman, after which factors the rifle at the others. Joker begs Pyle to drop his rifle, which the latter does, probably in acknowledgement of Joker as a chum. After this, Pyle sits on a restroom, places the weapon muzzle in his mouth and pulls the trigger, regrettably finishing his life at 12 months. Later, Joker is in Da Nang operating as a reporter protecting the Vietnam War for the Navy newspaper Stars and Stripes. He is teamed up with Rafterman, a combat photographer. At the same time as on the streets they come across a prostitute and face a thief, who steals Raft's camera. On their manner again to the base, Rafterman talks approximately how American military is supposed to assist the South Vietnamese, but they frequently take benefit of the scenario. Rapman expresses his desire to sign up for Joker inside the field to get a compelling story, but the latter is concerned about his safety and refuses returned at their base. They attend a press meeting led through their commanding officer, Lieutenant Lockhart. Lockhart reviews their recent information reports, assigns some new responsibilities, and presents guidelines for reporting standards. In the meantime, Joker is keen to move to the front lines to cover an essential story. He also mentions the talk about the Tet Holiday ceasefire, conventional time of ceasefire, and the opportunity that enemy forces may spoil it. However, Lockhart dismisses those issues, believing that the Vietnamese will retain their standard vacation celebration. Within the barracks that night, Rafterman talks to his fellow Marines about his desire to experience fight as Joker claims he has already performed. However, one of the Marines mocks Joker, announcing he can't have been in fight because he does not have the distant vacant appearance known as the 1,000-yard stare. Their argument is interrupted via the sound of close by weaponry fire. It seems that the North Vietnamese military is attacking, marking the begin of the Tet Offensive, certainly one of the biggest military AR campaigns of the Vietnam battle. Joker's unit returns Hearth, and thankfully their base is not as closely attacked as some others. The following day, the body of workers learns about enemy assaults occurring throughout South Vietnam after Joker makes a funny comment about and Margaret possibly traveling them. Lockhart sends him to Phu, a Marine forward-running base near the historical town of Hue, to document at the ongoing battle there. Rafterman joins him, hoping to benefit fight revel in all through Their helicopter journey, they encounter a disturbed door rifleman who fires recklessly at unarmed Vietnamese citizens at the ground, bragging about his killing capabilities after landing close to where Joker and Raffman have a conversation with Lieutenant Touchdown. Joker is inquiring approximately his old buddy Cowboy, and learns that Touchdown is now Cowboy's commanding officer. However, earlier than meeting up with the rest of the squad, Joker and Rafterman decide to investigate a rumor approximately Vietnamese civilians who have been allegedly done via the Viet Cong, an armed communist company and movement in South Vietnam. They visit a mass grave and find out extra than 20 bodies included with lime and white powder. Joker talks to a lieutenant who confirms that those individuals have been promised retraining through the Viet Cong at a public accumulating, however have been instead brutally killed upon arrival. As they end reporting, Joker encounters a confrontational colonel who questions why Joker wears a peace image on his frame armor while having the phrases "born to kill" on his helmet. Joker gives an evidence related to the duality of Guy, as in keeping with Carl Junger's idea. However, the cynical colonel is skeptical and advises him to comply to the Navy mindset. They sooner or later meet Cowboy's unit, recognized because the Lust Hog Squad, and Joker finally reunites with Cowboy, who has been promoted to sergeant and serves because the second in command. Joker joins the squad as they take part within the War of H. As they method H with tank cover, they face mortar rounds that regrettably kill Lieutenant Touchdown. After this, some other Marine nicknamed Crazy Earl takes price of the squad they retain to interact in the struggle and are available underneath enemy hearth from a close-by building. At one point, there are exchanges of rattles of bullets from each sides, and abruptly a quietness occurs. Later, a fight information group interviewed the squad approximately their experiences and opinions at the struggle. Quickly after, a